Uh. Alright, how do we... I guess we just continue glassing the whole thing. This is gonna be less fancy. Let's just make this flat. So around the main city, it's just gonna be flat. And I'll figure out the support later. Let me just like cover the streets for now, and I'll figure out the structure a little bit later. Is that the right height? 1, 2, 3. It is, right. Anno, I actually... Oh, Anno has weekly challenges. Although they kind of... There's not that many of them. So it's like every like couple of months they just repeat. So Anno 2070, in contrast to earlier versions, there's more like long-term gameplay things in the sense that there's like weekly challenges which cycle on like a 2-month cycle, and then there's a whole lot of stuff you can unlock, right? So there's like the achievements, and then each achievement unlock things. So it took me quite a long time to do all that stuff, although eventually I did all that stuff. And then after you unlock everything, I stopped playing. Because like, why would you keep playing after you unlock everything, right? So that's kind of good. Like it was pretty good, in my opinion. Anno 2070. Like it gave me a lot of gameplay hours, and I quite enjoyed the game. But eventually, it did run out of content. Right, it didn't last forever. This is super awkward because you can't get into there now. So let me knock that back a little bit. Oh, this is awkward. This. Can you get up? You can get up here, right? Okay, this is okay. This you actually want to block off because you don't want them to jump onto there. So you want to block that off across there. I feel like Anno they could have made more weeklies. The weekly challenge, they could have just made like a whole year's worth of those without putting in too much work, I think. Like, I mean, the scenarios, like you just get like you just generate a map and then you just have a scenario. Like it's fairly it's fairly procedural, right? I mean, you already have the system in place for generating the maps. I don't need to raise that up, this is just fine. Okay. You already have the system for generating the maps, you already have the system for running missions. So basically everything was already in place. Or everything is already in place, and just like creating the missions themselves, the way I understood it, is a relatively low effort sort of a... Like it didn't take too much work. Didn't take too much extra work to just do more. And you create a lot more replayability. Like, I mean, Anno just doesn't have that many missions. Given that 1, 2, 3, given that all the mechanisms are already in place, and given that like the missions didn't seem to take very much work to make more of. It seemed to me like they should have made a lot more missions, just to like extend the maybe I'm wrong, just to extend the playability of the game. It's like, it seems strange to me why they don't have. Maybe like people just don't play them, the missions, or maybe they are harder to make than. But it can't be that hard to make. Maybe I should like describe Anno missions. So all the buildings and all the trade routes, like all the mechanics are the same in every mission. Like a mission will, for example, have you deliver X number of these items. Or it will be like destroy this enemy, like the enemy would have a base somewhere, destroy this enemy. And so the win conditions for these missions is just like, it's pretty basic. Like you just have to like check whether it's done, like from a game development perspective. Like it really is very little extra work, right? You just have to like define a map seed and then define the objective, and then that's your whole mission. Like that's all you have to do. You don't really have to do anything. I mean, you just knock those missions out a dozen a day. Like you literally can just do a dozen a day quite easily by yourself. Like one guy could do it. And like given that they've spent all that time making the game engine, making all the systems, like making the game engine, making all of that stuff, and then the missions can just be like so easy. In fact, you could just like have the players themselves create the missions. You can have a system where you create your own challenge. Alright, you choose a map seed, define objectives, and then save it, and then let other people try to solve it, and then you can have like speedrun challenge, right? You can like, oh, who can do it fastest, and then like you just like. What I'm saying is like it seems like it's a very low effort way to create a lot of just gameplay incentive. Like you give players a lot of stuff they can do at very low cost, very low like development cost. And so I just don't know why they don't do more of that. Right? It seems like an easy way to make the game last longer and have people keep playing more. I keep forgetting how I did this. This is like... I did differently on the first one, right? No, I didn't. Okay. So on the one just before the step, it's 4 blocks. Right. That's one way to extend the replayability of the game, is have like user-generated content. Not just user-generated content, but user-generated content that encourage other users to generate more content. Oh, I'm onto something here. I mean, I'm not the first person to think about this, but... So Hitman... Is it Hitman? It is Hitman. The latest Hitman series, Hitman 1, 2, and 3. World of Assassination, I think, is the other name for it. The latest Hitman series, like there's the main missions, which is cool, but basically like they create the map. Like they create the scenario, which is the most amount of work. Right, they create the scenario, and then within that scenario, it's not that difficult to have like different challenges, right? Like, you know, assassinate this guy using this weapon and this disguise without being spotted and then escape. Like that sounds like it's not difficult to just have a lot of like sub-challenges. Like I said, it's all procedural, kind of. Like once you have the map built, everything else is just like the system at work. You don't have to do any more map design. You don't have to like write any more AI, and you don't have to do like, you know, all that stuff is already done. And in Hitman also, you can like create your own challenges. Like you would like do something in the game, and then you would say, alright, set what I just did as a challenge for other players. That's cool, right? And then, so like if you took a screwdriver and you killed a janitor, and then you escaped by car, for example, you can like turn that into a challenge for other players, and then other players will also have to find a screwdriver and kill that particular janitor and escape by that particular car. And that's like, oh, that's interesting, right? Like, oh, how did he do it? Like, you know. So like, yeah, it's like within the maps that you have created already, like every single character, every single item, like every combination can be turned into a little scenario, a little challenge, a little gameplay challenge for people to like spend their time on. So that's cool. Seems like a great way to add more gameplay. I wonder if Minecraft has the potential to do similar things. I mean, not the way it's designed now, definitely, but maybe not. Minecraft is a little too freeform, in the sense that it's very hard for the computer to know you've achieved something, because like everything is so open-ended. I mean, you can do like diamond challenge, like diamond speedrun challenge or something. Like imagine, right? Like, all right, this particular map seed, you are racing against other players to find the 10 diamonds. Right? Like everybody gets the same map seed, and then you do a speedrun. Who finds 10 diamonds the fastest? Right? That's kind of funny. You could do stuff like that, I guess. But Minecraft is kind of too open-ended for that sort of thing, I feel like. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Yeah, there's like too much aesthetics in Minecraft. Like if you say, alright, the challenge is to build a cool castle, like how do you define like a cool castle? Like how do you make the computer understand architectural merits, right? You can't. So that's not gonna work. Put that down there. I guess the fact that you can like literally reshape the whole environment makes that less viable. Let me shovel some snow. Alright, moving on. Let's look at another game. Let's find the next game to talk about. Anno. I still haven't played Ark. Ark Survival Evolved. I bought it and never played it. It's just one of these things where it's just like it's too big, too complicated. I don't want to start another huge complicated thing. I've talked about Banish a little bit. Banish, like, it's one of those games where once you build everything, there's nothing else to do except to like start again, which is the same thing over and over again. City Skylines I've talked about. Cities XL is it's a real shame. I wish it was good, but it's not. It's not a fun game. It's a city builder, but you have to place each plot manually. so you know, like other city builders, you build the road, you zone the land, and then the land develops by itself, right? Like you're the planner, and then everybody else is like somebody else's developer. In Cities XL, you have to build the roads, and you have to like define each plot specifically, and then you have to build everything. You're the developer as well. Like you have to build everything on your own. It's just like slow, awkward. Like, there's not enough automation in Cities XL, and so like it's just like a real pain in the ass to build anything. I wish it was good, but it's not. I just want like more city builders. I don't know why Cities XL just didn't get it right. I'm going through my Steam library, and there's not that many city builders, even though it's like, you know, it's my jam. Like I'm into them. I guess it's just not easy to make a good one, huh? I like when I watch other people play video games too. City builders, like it's the genre where people are least capable of figuring out. I mean, like I'm not to imply that they are dumb. Just saying, like you take a number of normal people, ordinary people, nothing special. Like they're not particularly clever, not particularly stupid. And I guess the point is no particular planning expertise, right? They're just like normal people doing normal things. You put them in front of different games, like they can kind of figure out shooters. They're not very good at shooters, right? If they're not well practiced, but they can figure it out. They can like, okay, crosshairs on the guy and pew 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 pew, and that's it. Like they can figure it out. But like a game like a City Builder, it's like chess. If you don't know what you're doing, you just don't know what you're doing. Like most games they can figure out. I mean, Portal, looking at like at my list, Portal is kind of amazing. Right? Portal, let me like go back to building. Portal is an exception in the sense that puzzle games is one of these genres where if you're dumb, it really shows. Again, not to call anyone dumb, but if you're not good at puzzles, then a puzzle game really shows that you're not good at puzzles. You know what I'm saying? And the challenge of puzzle games really is, how do you make it fun enough for a large enough number of players that you can make enough money from your game? And Portal is one of these exceptions. It's an exceptional game in the sense that even people who are not good at puzzles, again, like I'm trying to avoid the word dumb, because they're not dumb. They're not dumb. They're just like not used to puzzles, right?